And we're rolling. Hello YouTube, Sabakun and Chibi Neko 2. I decided to make a vlog. Yeah, I'm terrible at introductions. Let's get this started. Now tell me I'm not the only one who wants the Ruby Sapphire Emerald remake, right? 3DS. Remember those rumors and the Nintendo squashed it and they're like, nope, Kalos region. Or is it Kalos? I'm gonna just say Kalos. But all squashed when that game came out, right? And then we had the rumors of a new region from the hotel guy in X and Y. What I found interesting was, other than giving you that weird item from a region that's not listed, he said Kanto, Johto, Hoenn, Sinnoh, Unova, or Kalos. But he left out a region. He left out the Orre region. Now I know technically the Orre region was a side game, but it may not have had any gyms, but you could still trade back and forth in both games, Colosseum and XD, to get Johto Pokemon onto your Fire Red, Leaf Green, Ruby Sapphire Emerald, and with Pal Park through Diamond, you were able to get all the gens onto your Diamond, and from your Diamond you could trade anything over to the Johto games, Heart Gold and Soul Silver. Those games were technically remade, at least by what I think, was to get all the Johtos on your DS platform because of the backwards compatibility issue that they had with the GameCube and the whole DSi and all that hoo-ha. Wow, I'm replaying Colosseum right now. The Orre region just ends unfinished. I felt like there should have been a third game where maybe all three heroes, and yes, I count the girl from Colosseum as a hero because she did see the Pokemon, team up maybe and stop Cypher in them maybe one more time, or maybe there's a whole new criminal because like XD was like 5 years later, but it was still the same criminals. And one of the arguments that XD got such low ratings was because it was too similar to Colosseum, even though like it was a new story. So they could possibly, they don't even have to have that plot element in it, of course, but it would be interesting to have to save the world again, you know, like Shadow Pokemon snagging style. Maybe your hero meets up with the XD characters, or I would just love to see the Orre region again. It was a very unique region. It wasn't like the other games where it was based off Japan. X and Y were not based off Japan by any means. It was more like Europe or the United States, I would argue. But yeah, like the whole region thing is weird because all the games were based off Japan until we like Black and White was very city-ish, but like it was still kind of based off Japan, so I was okay with it. But X and Y is like completely European by most. Like they have that castle that looks like Versailles. It just seems like Europe. I would argue it's more American. Our region's a desert region, so there's no desert in Japan. You know, it's warm there, but it's not that warm, you know. So I'm thinking maybe the Orre region, I guess continentally, would attach to the United States, like where Mexico is, because like there's desert down there. That would kind of make the most sense to me. And since when does it have to relate to a country? I hate that argument, even though I just used it, but it's Pokemon. It shouldn't have to relate to geography. I mean, I think they should possibly add that in. That Orre seemed kind of unfinished. It didn't have any gyms. Maybe they could add more cities. It doesn't have to be a gym place, though. It could be somewhere you go after the Elite Four. I don't know, it would just make sense, you know? Like, it's like a quest to do after. There's like an after game. Even though those games had such low ratings, they have such good replay value. I've replayed those games so many times. I don't know anyone who hated Colosseum or XD. I mean, the plot was a little darker than a main game. Sure, there was organized crime everywhere. Hell, Colosseum, the region where Wes was pretty crappy. It kind of reminds me of my home city, Bridgeport, Connecticut. But in the desert, Pirate Town's pretty shady and the under's pretty bad. It reminds me of a housing project. As cruel as closing a Pokemon's heart is, the game's about purifying them and saving them, and then everyone's kind of united at the end in both Orre games. Whereas Black and White 1 was, you don't know who's the villain because it's kind of a mindfuck with the whole, oh, are you really, you call yourself like you love Pokemon, blah, 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 kind of thing. But yet you're catching them and, like, forcing them to battle. So, the ending value of Black and White 1 is probably more criminal and darker than both of Colosseum and XD. But in Black and White 2, they bypassed this whole entire thing and it's not cruel anymore. So, I felt like the game creators even knew that that was a little dark. Lest we forget those wonderful graphics and like 3D, maybe it's 2D, but like the graphics were really good in Colosseum and XD. Like you saw, like you could turn around, you saw like whole bodies. It wasn't this flat animation with pixels and sprites. So they had all this great animation, but then when they made the next Pokemon game, what did they go back to? The same 64-bit pixel sprite animation thing. If the 3DS is about like better graphics, and especially for the Pokemon games, they should go back to that animation. Or even improve it and make it really 3D. Because honestly, the 3D on the 3DS isn't really 3D to me. I don't know, let me know what you guys think about that in the comments. So say they finally do add this to the region, right? You can get Johto Pokemon without having to really go to Johto. It would solve the whole backwards compatibility thing, and like Pokemon Bank wouldn't even really be necessary. Plus there was a lot of problems and they took it off the download market. So then you get all the Johto Pokemon. All you would need is the Hoenn Pokemon, right? So then they could remake Hoenn finally. Finally. And then it would all make sense. You could literally get every Pokemon that you need. You can get all the legendaries from Kanto and the Johto regions. You would have the Hoenn one. And then, for the games Black and White 1 and 2, if they just improved the infrared system, maybe put a patch, they wouldn't even need the Pokemon Bank. Problem solved. So, like, if they did that, Orre region would be in the picture, and we would have our Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald remake we all want, right? You want to see more of the Orre region. It just seems like this small cluster. Well, this is their opportunity. Thank you for watching. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Let me know if you want more videos like this. And thanks for listening. Okay, bye.